simultaneous linear equations. This is a system of simultaneous linear equation. You may say this is your Ax is equal to B. So in this we rewrite these equation as from first equation we can take x on left hand side, remaining everything on right hand side. That means we can shift these two quantity on the right hand side and divide it by a1. After doing that, here this coefficient become like x is equal to 1 by a1 and your d1 minus d1y minus c1z. So as d1, b1, c1 and a1 are constant, so d1 by a1 it will assume here is k1 and b1 by a1 is your l1 and c1 by a1 assume here as your m1. Similarly from second equation, keep your y on left hand side, remaining everything on right hand side. Similarly on from third equation we can find out z in term of your x and y. So keeping in mind by doing these things here, this a1, this b1, c1 is your are the large as compared to other coefficient in that particular type. Means for this column, like your a1 should be maximum from your a2 and a3. Similarly b2 is maximum from your b1 and b3, and c3 is a maximum from your c2 and c3. So this we prefer. If suppose a2 is maximum, then a1 you can interchange these and change the position of these equations. Now put your any given value in the right hand side, or you can assume you are starting with your 0, that is x naught, y naught, z naught are 0. Once you put here 0, it give you answer your x1 is your k1, y we assume that is y1, k2 and z1 is your k3. This is called your first approximation, or when you put here x naught, y naught, z naught 0, that is called initial approximation. After that again you can put this x1, y1, z1 in the right hand side of these equations. Again you get the value of your x, which called your x2 now. Similarly y2 and z2. Again you can put these value of your x2, y2, z2 in this system. Again you get x3, y3, z3. So on you continually do these things until you'll get desired accuracy. Desired accuracy means consecutive approximations for two values of your x are same, two consecutive value of y and z are about to be same. Let's discuss one example. See, this is a method is known as Jacobi iterations method, or you also call this as Jacobi method. The equations is 10x plus y minus z is equal to 11.19, and second equation is your x plus 10y plus z is equal to 28.08. Similarly, third equation is minus x plus y plus 10z is equal to 35.61. So if you see in these equations here, coefficient of your this x here is 10, which is compared to your all your these other coefficient of x is maximum or large, right? So we can keep this equation as number equation 1, and this coefficient of y is your maximum, so we keep this as equation number 2, and this coefficient 10z is maximum, we can keep this as your third equation. If they are in a different order, we can arrange in this order only, that coefficient of x should be maximum in your first, similarly y in second and z in third. So we can keep x on left hand side, remaining everything in the first equation on right hand side. So we shift y on right hand side, that is 11.19 minus 5 plus z divided by this 10. So we get this value of x. Similarly, from second equation, keep your x and z right hand side, so they become your minus x and minus z, and divided by 10, you get the y. Similarly, x and y in the right hand side here, or divided by 10, you get the value of z. Now, initially you can put your x naught, y naught, z naught, or you say the value of your x, y, z is equal to 0, only on the right hand side. So if you put here 0, 0, it give you 11.19 divided by 10, that is 1.119. Similarly, here these two are 0, it is 28.08 by 10, that is 2.808. Here also it is 35.61 plus 0 minus 0 divided by 10 is your 3.561. Now put these value again in these right side of these equations. You get again new value of your x, y, and z, which is your now put here y1 and z1, new approximation. So we just put here 2.808 and 3.561 here. You get the, after calculation, you get the 1.19. So use your scientific calculator for these values, and these save as the equations in that we already discussed that part. Similarly, put your x1 and your z1 in your this second equation, and similarly x1 and y1 in third equation. You get the new approximation or iteration of your x, y, z, which is your x2, y2, and z. So this is your result. Now again put these in the right hand side, you get your x3. Similarly, put these in the right hand side, you get your x5. x5. So if you see here in your x, y, z in fourth iteration and fifth iteration are same, so we can stop here, and this value is your value of x, this is value of y, and this is value of z. This was your Jacobi iterations method. Let's see. One more example we can just little bit discuss. The equation is 20x plus y minus 2z. So this coefficient of x is largest among these, so we keep this as your equation number 1. So here coefficient of y is largest, so it is equation 2. Here this is coefficient of z is largest, so keep it as your third. Keep other terms on the right hand side. Find the value of x from first, y from second, z from third, and put initial value your x naught, y naught, z naught equal to 0 in the right hand side. You get your x, y, z, and we give them name x1, y1, z1. Now put these value in the right hand side. You get your x2, y2, z2. Again put second iteration's value in the right hand side. You get the third iteration, fourth iteration, similarly until you get the required accuracy. That means your value of your x, y, and z are same up to desired decimal points. You see here all these values y is -1 and z is 1. Now Gauss-Seidel iterations method. So this is a slightly modification in your Jacobi iterations method. So what is your modification here? The modification of this Jacobi method in Seidel method, what we do, nothing's so as in first iteration, what we do in your Jacobi method, we just put here your initial value, that is x naught, y naught, z naught, is equal to 0 in your right hand side of this equation, and we get your first approximation as your x1, y1 and z, right? But what is the difference between Seidel method? With Seidel method, we put here in first equation, we put your y as your y naught, z as your z naught. So once you put here in the right hand side of x, you get your x1. Once you get your x1, you just put that x1 in the right hand side of your this first approximation of y. In Jacobi method, we put your x not only in all these x, y, z, but in a Seidel method, Gauss's Seidel method, we put the latest available value. So when you find here x, which is x1, after putting your y naught and z naught, that x1 you can put for calculating your y1. So here we can put right side x1, and here it is z naught. Now we have the x1 is available, y1 is available. So for your z1, we can put your x1 here and y1 here. So that means we just needed to put the latest value of your x, y, z, which is available to us, right? So for the next approximation for x2, uh, as x1, y1, z1 are available to us, so for the second iteration, we can put right side x1 and z1. But for the y2, as x2 is already calculated or available, so we put here instead of x1, we put here x2. Similarly, in a z, we put here your x2 and y2. So initial approximation. Similarly, in y2, x2 and old x1, y1, z1 we put, but here we can put here the latest value of x, y, z which is available to us. And remaining is same in your Seidel method. So let me discuss one example on this for the better understanding. So the same example we took here, the previous one, in which your x is your 1 by 20, 17 minus y plus 2 z, and y is your 1 by 20 minus 18 minus 3x plus y, z is 1 by 20, 25 minus 2x plus 3. So we just put here x naught, y naught, z naught, 0 in the right hand side, we get the value of your x, y, z in Jacobi method. But here we just put here these x naught, y naught, z naught, we assume these are 0 in an x only. So once you put these in an x, you get here 17.20 by 20, which give you 0.85. Now for the y, we put here x1, which is latest calculated here, and your z naught, which is 0 we assumed. So after putting your 0.85 here and z is 0, after calculating it gives you a minus 1.0275. So now we have the x1 is available and y1 is available. So we put here latest x1 and y1, and after putting these we get the z1. So this is the difference. In Jacobi we put all x naught, y naught, z naught at 0. In all x, y and z we get x1, y1, z1. But in your Seidel method we put the latest available values. So similarly you can just put x1, y1, z1 here in the right hand side as latest available. So first we put y1, z1, these two values, and we get x2. Now put this available x2 in your y2 to calculate y2, and your z1, which is latest available to us, we get this one. Similarly, for the z, we just put here latest available x, which is x2, and similarly y, which is y2. So after putting, similarly for the third step, if you see here, these are the same desired accuracy. And another thing you can see here in a previous question, in previous method for the same question, step taken by us are up to 6 iteration we require in Jacobi method. But in a Seidel method, you get the result in your third approximation only. So in third iteration only. So obvious the Seidel method is a better as compared to your Jacobi method, as it gives you a result earliest. So which is fast convergence method, you can say, right? So few more example you can try for this these methods. Right? So you just needed to check which coefficient of x is highest, largest, similarly y, similarly z, and similarly yeah, here it is x1 by x2 by x3 and z x4. So the coefficient of you see in here, this is maximum in x1, so this should be first equation. Similarly, this should be second, this should be third, this should be fourth. If the order is different here, then you can rearrange them accordingly, right? So now first equation you can take x1 on left hand side, remaining everything on right hand side. Similarly, from second x2, third x3, and fourth x4 we can find out. Now put your initial approximation here. Now put initial approximation here. We assume x2, x3, and x4 is 0. We get your x1. Now latest x1 is available, so put here your latest iteration of this x1. And older value, that is your x3 and x4 is 0. So we get x2. Similarly, x3 and x5 we can get. So main difference is in a Seidel method, we always substitute your latest available value of your x1, x2, x3, x4. And we stop when you get your approximately same result in two iterations, like here it is 0.999, here also 0.999, here also 1.999, 1.999, 2.999, 2.99. So these are the same. This is nearly 1, this is nearly 2, this is nearly 3, and this is nearly 0. So which is your required result in this. So I'm stopping here. So this is your Gauss's Seidel method, and we already discussed your Jacobi iterations method, or you say Jacobi method. Both are your iterative methods, and in last lecture we discussed your Gauss's elimination and Jordan method, which are called your direct methods. These are called iterative method, as we use your previous data for the next iterations. That's why iterations are using here. It is called iterative methods. Okay, thank you for listening.